Hello interwebs, welcome to Let's Fix Computers. We've got an Asus S55 series laptop here with a cracked touchscreen. So the LCD is absolutely fine, it's just the glass, the digitizer, which is cracked. So we're going to get that replaced. I've got the spare parts next to me and hopefully we're going to get this done in one sitting. I'm going to take the display assembly off of the laptop just because I'm not quite sure how easy or difficult this one's going to be. So we're going to take the display assembly off the laptop first just to make sure that I've got maximum workspace with the actual display assembly. It might be possible to do this in situ, I'm not sure. By the time I've done this, I'll probably be able to tell you whether it was necessary to take the display assembly off or not. But let's get started and see how far we get. Alright, can we go ahead and split? Okay, right, how much of a ball ache is this display assembly going to cause me? We've got antennas over there and a display cable there. None. Good, okay. Yeah, just take the display assembly off, to be honest. It's so easy to do that you may as well do it. There are some laptops where to get the display assembly off, you've got to start taking half of the motherboard out and stuff like that. And on those ones, I'm just like, can we not? However, this is not one of those. So let's just disconnect these cables. Then we'll take out these hinge screws and the display should drop right off. We're going to open the display up though because I can see those hinges are going to pinch the display. Easy peasy. Okay, right, next thing I want to do is just see if this clutch cover will come off. Yeah, that looks like that functions in pretty much the same way as a MacBook one. I've just slid it to the right and that's just lifting off. There we go. Nice. So now we've got a couple of screws along the bottom here that I'm going to take out. And I'll tell you how I know that is if we look at my replacement digitizer I've got here, I can see that we've got screw holes along the bottom. So I'm going to take out those screws because I know that they're going to need to come off. Alright, so now there's no screw holes around the display bezel, so this is just going to be clipped together. So I should now just be able to stick my pry tool in between the display assembly and just split that open. Beautiful. Oop. Okay, right, what's coming away? Everything is coming away. Nice. Well, this is going swimmingly. Okay, right, let's stick the display back to one side and take a look at this. Right, so there's one more stumbling point that I'm just praying we're not going to encounter. And that's the LCD. I'm just hoping the LCD is not bonded to the glass. It really shouldn't be, but we'll see. Okay, here we go. So I've taken out the screws. Is that bonded or not? Oh no, there's just a little bit of glue around the edges. That's fine. That seems to be coming off. At least I think it is. What's holding on there? Get it off. Get it off of there. I don't want you in my life. Okay, that was fine. So that was just this sticky edge around there that's just designed to stop dust getting between the two. That's fine. Good. That LCD's pristine. That's a happy chappy. I'm surprised that that's not at all damaged, considering, but cool. Alright then. Okay, so we need to rob a few more bits from this, I believe. Let me just check. Yeah, we need the webcam So we need this bit up here, and the display cable. So a note about what parts I've purchased and just touchscreen repairs in general. So basically, normally I don't go anywhere near touchscreens. It's the same as doing a tablet for me, and I don't do tablets or mobile devices anymore because I really hate dealing with sticking down glass and that kind of thing. The closest I get to doing that is MacBook Pro glass replacement. The reason why I attempt that is just simply because A, I know those ones particularly well, and B, they're not too bad, those particular ones. Because it's a metal frame, you can be really vicious with it and you won't break anything. However, most other touchscreens are just a nightmare, quite frankly, and I don't want anything to do with them. But what made me go for this one is that when I looked online for parts, I found the replacement digitizer with the plastic frame already applied. So I don't need to take this glass out, I don't need to replace the glass, it's just this front bezel that we're replacing. And that's going to make this job really easy. As you can see, this is more or less the same as other jobs I've done, where I just need to nick a few bits out of the old display assembly and drop them into my replacement one. And that's going to be a breeze. So let's just lift you out. Just slightly distracted by a truck down the road that's having a wonderful time trying to get through the narrow streets of Shaftesbury. No endage of entertainment traffic watching outside of my shop. Okay, right, there's our display cable and stuff. Got a couple of bits. Oh, that must be like the touchscreen. Yeah, that's the touchscreen controller there. And that is probably a USB connection or something similar. Then we've got a microphone and the webcam. Okay, right, so let's put the LCD to one side a sec while we fit that to our new display assembly. So we need to take the... Do I have to take the back plastic off that right away? Yeah, I do. I'm going to be fighting dust while I do this anyway, so such is. And unfortunately, as soon as I take this cellophane off, the dust is going to go straight onto it. So have fun with that. We'll leave that bit loose just while we figure out where that sits. Right, I think that's all good. So let's just get the digitizer ribbons connected. Okay, right, I'm just going to give the digitizer just a gentle wipe down because I know I touched it with my fingers in a few places. Unfortunately, I'm kind of having to do this blind, but I can't see any fingerprints on it from here. But we're going to get the LCD in there, and then I think we'll turn it over and take the other cellophane off just so we can see before I commit to this whether there's any dust trapped between the layers or not. Because like when we do other kind of glass replacements, that's the big problem is just, yeah, keeping the dust out. So unfortunately a computer shop is not exactly a clean place. Alright, let's drop you in there. Just try and get that underneath this tape. Yeah, that's okay. Let's turn that over and see if we've got any dust. That looks pretty good. There's a speck there. That's on the other side. That's me spitting on the screen. Yeah, there's a couple of bits there. We need to come back off again. You're still there. Alright. Force is strong with that one. Okay, now hopefully we didn't let any more dust in while we were getting rid of that one. I'm getting impatient. I'm getting impatient. There we go. We got it that time. That is spot on. Good. All right, let's flip it back over. Okay, so we're going to commit to that now. Now, the screen is not really glued in, so I say commit. We don't really have to commit, which is nice about this one. This has definitely been the nicest touchscreen replacement I've had to do. But what we'll do now is actually get the screws in. So, like with the old one, we do have that slight rubber edge around underneath the LCD, which is nice. So I don't need to worry about dust ingress after I've fitted this. And so now we're just going to put these weird little bracket things back in place to hold the LCD in. I haven't seen this kind of design before, but you know, hey, it works. So good. Right, and we're going to check those ribbons are in properly. We've got nice straight white lines at the connectors there, so I can see that the ribbons aren't in wonky or anything like that. And the locking levers are closed, so I know that that's going to work. Let's get the display connector hooked up again. So that's going to go into there. And that wants to sit in that channel apparently. Okay, right, that looks good to me. Let's bring in the back of the display. Now this has got a knock in the back of it. How bad is that? Well, cool. You can actually see there's actually dents on the back of the LCD there. You can just see those there and there. So this thing did take a knock from the back. I wonder if that's what broke the original screen. No, I don't think so, because there's no way that you could do. There's no way that a blow from the back of the thing could break the glass, but not the LCD. So that might be putting a slight bit of pressure on there. I'm just going to bend that out slightly just to make sure that that's not putting pressure on. So I'm just going to put my palm on the back of the panel here and just press into that a little bit. Just to discourage those bits from sticking out. There we go. I mean, if I was some kind of metal worker, you could probably put this on a machinist table and just hammer those flat, but whatever. Alright, just going to sit that down. Oh, look at that. This is pretty. This is going well. I was dreading this job today. Last night I knew that this glass was going to show up today, and I was like, I'm not looking forward to that touchscreen. It's going to be a nightmare. I don't know why I agreed to do it. Beautiful. Okay, let's clip that all back in. Just going to go round and round until I've got, well, oh, that's the last of the clicks apparently. Fine. That wasn't a very satisfying click in, but the gaps have closed. Don't worry about fingerprints at this point. That is the least of your concern. You can clean it when it's all back in one piece again. Let's get these screws back in along the bottom. Oh man, it's only 20 to 12. I've got at least 20 minutes to go before I can blag my way onto lunch. Right, this fella's just jumped out. Let's just give that a bit of a tweezer press. Do you want to go back in properly, or have you got a problem? Yeah, you're fine. Click, 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 click. Love it. Love everything about it. Bam, look at you. Nice. Okay, let's get you back on the laptop. Before we screw the laptop back together, we're just going to fire it up and make sure it works. And I probably should have done that before I just did all those little extra clicks, but I'm feeling good about this. I think this is going to work first time. I'm feeling confident. Okay, you guys can stay where you are, and we're just going to stick a couple of screws in just so I can support the laptop. Alright, power. The display has initialized. Good, we have display. Okay, right, and as you can see, I can tap on things. And the touchscreen works. Lovely. Let's get the rest of this put back together now. Okay, let's carry on getting this screwed back together. So I'm going to check these hinges now, and I'm going to make sure that I've put a screw in any hole that has an arrow pointing at it. So let me just show you those. So you see that little arrow there pointing at the screw hole? That's how I know that there's supposed to be a screw there. Whereas that one doesn't have an arrow pointing to it. So I know that that will have a case screw going through it, so I don't need to fill that hole. However, that one we do need to fill. Bam! And we're done. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I will see you all next time. Bye for now.